Next up in headlines, I told you guys before my very long hiatus that I would be looking into and keeping up with Little Durk's case. And so, of course, he has been charged with murder. I did not realize that he had been in jail since October. I don't know. For some reason, I don't keep up with him like physically or like on social media and things like that. So I don't know. In my mind, he had been out on bond. I don't know why, but that's in my mind he was, but I guess that is not true. But prosecutors have now charged him with one count of stalking that resulted in death. And that's very interesting because to me, for someone who, again, I am not a defense lawyer, I am not a prosecutor, I don't work in the legal system at all. But I always find it interesting when I'm watching like Dateline and First 48 and First what is the other one? 48 Hours. When I'm watching these things, I'm listening to, you know, them talk about the crimes and the charges and things like that. As they go and they just start adding charges, I think it's because some areas are weak and some areas are strong and they're like, "Okay, we have a stronger case if we, you know, um, if we go with this charge. So if we go with this charge, we have this evidence to prove that. If we go with this charge, we got a little bit of evidence, but not too much. So I think they start trying to add things just so that there is something of substance when they go to trial and there is something to show a jury and to say, he may not have did this, because this is kind of weak, but look, we have strong evidence here, and if you can just bridge the two, you'll see that because of this happened. So I think that's their goal with this case, is to kind of bridge the two and kind of throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. Now, with this new indictment, they did remove a reference to rap lyrics, and I wanted to say that because there were headlines about, the family coming out and saying that, prosecutors were basically being unfair with his rap lyrics and his music, and basically trying to say that he rapped about the crime and he rapped about other things that would allude to the crime. So the family was saying it's unfair because it's not true, that didn't happen. His lawyers were saying also that's not true. So in this new indictment, they did remove a reference to rap lyrics that prosecutors believe referred to the murder. So that's, I think, a small win. I think it's a small win because we are in a time where whatever rappers rap about, it gets into the indictment, right? So whatever they say, it's in the indictment. That's being used against them. Their words are law in their art form. Now, I think that's important to highlight because, again, it's an art form. It's something that people do to, it could be to like relieve, I don't want to say stress, but like, like almost like a therapy where you want to get these things out of you and put them, into words, into something that's a song, melodic or whatever. And hey, you might embellish, you might add to it, you might, make it sound better than what actually happened. So I don't think you can say because this person rapped about this, it's concrete evidence that it happened. I think that's a slippery, slippery slope. Unless the person they would have had to like really rap out the words. I think what's his name? Why something Melly? YNW? YMW? Girl, something Y Melly. I think when I heard his lyrics, he was very detailed, okay? He was super detailed and I was like, "Whoa," like, but I also don't believe he thought, these kids, man. I don't think he thought that him rapping about it would quickly like, oh, 1 + 1 = 2. I think he thought it would be like, I'm making this song, this happened in the past, and people might not bridge the two, but they did, and quickly. And it was like everything he rapped about literally was how it happened. So, I mean, if you do that's like if you type out like people who commit crimes and then send a text message to someone right after, or they send an email that's like, "What?" So I will say if you do that, you're just dumb and you're asking to be caught. But if you're like rapping about crimes, but it's not like on Thursday, I went and did this. I met up with this person and then we went and did this and then I left my house and then like that and then they can prove it with, like your phone, geolocation and all this other stuff. Then it's like, okay, sir, like you kind of give them a roadmap to your crime. So it can go either way for me, but I don't want it to become practice where they're like, oh, this person's rapping about murder. Let's go pin one on him. That type of thing.